Hello, fellow fragrance lovers, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you are all doing well and that your 2022 is going okay so far. I know we're only a couple weeks into it, but hopefully it ends up being a better year than 2021 and 2020. Those years were trash. So anyway, I'm always on the hunt for the newest fragrances, and I love to be the one to break the news to you. I really do. I get such pleasure out of that. So in keeping with that theme, I have a fragrance for you today that I have not seen any reviews for. I looked and I did not see any. So when I review something, I don't necessarily want to watch other reviews of it because I don't want to be influenced, but I do check to see how many are out there because, again, I like to be the one kind of, in the beginning phases of the perfume release. I don't want to be late to the perfume party, if you know what I mean. So, saw nothing on this. Nothing. And the only reason why I know about this is because I guess it was on the Ellis Brooklyn Instagram. Maybe I guess it flashed up and I jumped on it, and I think now it is available at Sephora and stuff, but I just have not seen really anything about it. So I'm going to give you my brief thoughts on this fragrance, which is the brand new Ellis Brooklyn Apres Ski. Well, no, just Apres, but I think it's related to that whole French concept of après ski, which is after skiing. So I guess the whole intent of this fragrance was to be the smells associated with like after you come in from skiing and you're in a nice little lodge, you're having a nice little drink and it's wintry and all of that, and there's some woodiness, all of that good stuff. So if you are curious about that, stick around. By the way, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Limelight Lass, and usually I'm into fragrances that stand out, that make a statement, that let you be in the limelight. Not always. Sometimes I do reviews on more subtle fragrances. I also do hauls and just all kinds of interesting things. So if you like that sort of thing, please subscribe to my channel. And again, to everyone who is already subscribed, thank you so much. I'm having so much fun, communicating with you guys, and it's been a fun journey. I'm going to be in a couple months coming up on my 1-year anniversary of starting my channel. So I'm just delighted to keep doing it. So let me fill you in on the Apres fragrance from Ellis Brooklyn. Now, I just got the little travel size here because, again, I have so many fragrances, and this was a blind buy. So I'm trying not to blind buy anything in full size because sometimes that ends up being a little bit foolish. Although I've had pretty good luck lately. But, I just figured, and I had a feeling that this was a very winter specific fragrance. So if I'm only going to be able to wear it one season, a smaller size is good. And I was correct. Spoiler alert. I was correct. This has winter written all over it. Now, I am in the Philly area and we are getting clobbered this winter. In fact, I'm waiting any second for my power to go out because we're in the middle of yet another winter storm. This one didn't have a lot of snow or anything, but we are getting really, really heavy winds, and it's just awful out. So I'm really looking forward to spring and summer this year for sure. So Ellis Brooklyn Apres. Let me give you the notes on this bad boy. According to Fragrantica, so the top notes are juniper berries, cardamom, and saffron. Mid notes are bourbon whiskey, suede, violet, labdanum, praline, and gaiac wood. And then the base notes are cedar, vanilla, sandalwood, patchouli, and musk. Now, I have it on. Do I get all of that? I mean, some more than others. So this starts out very, very green, and I get so much of that juniper berry, and it does give me like a Christmas tree type of vibe. The only thing I have in my collection that's close to this would be the Goop Edition 3. Goop Edition 3, I think it is, the incense one. That one to me just smells like Christmas trees. So this has a very, yeah, it almost like smells like a Christmas tree. But you get a lot of green notes in there. And I guess the cedar as well. Very, very woody. And there's Gaiac wood in it. So the woods definitely dominate this fragrance, but there is something in it that gives you that impression of like being out in the snow, like that sort of like cold burst. And it is a little colder feeling at first. So it's green. I don't know what it is. I guess it's the juniper. I don't know. But there's something that's a little bit like brisk in it. So here's the thing with this. For a little while, like the first couple hours, it stays very green, but then you get it. So I was very excited about this whole bourbon whiskey note because I am just a bourbon whiskey type of person. And I love, in the wintertime, enjoying one of those beverages. And I was a little disappointed at first because I felt like I cannot smell that whatsoever. It takes a little while, but when you get into the dry down of this fragrance, you definitely do get a little bit of that bourbon. The vanilla in this is very, very, very subtle, very in the background. This is not a gourmand scent whatsoever. I know Ellis Brooklyn does have some really good gourmand scents, but this is more green, woody, but with like a nice hint of sweetness. And this one, out of all of the Ellis Brooklyn fragrances that I've smelled, this is the most unisex. This is definitely like in the middle. Yeah, definitely like a straight down the middle unisex. To me, to my nose. I mean, you do get a little bit of the patchouli, muskiness. Like when I really, really search for that violet, I can sniff it out. But it's not very predominant to my nose. And yeah, the cardamom does give that little hint of spiciness. So it's a little bit, it's woody, spicy, earthy, green with this touch of a boozy sweetness, but like way in the background. So again, if you're in the ski lodge and it's woody and you sort of have that fresh outdoor snowy air, on you, and, you're enjoying a drink by the fire, it definitely puts out this vibe. Longevity on this one is actually not bad for Ellis Brooklyn because I know one of the big complaints about Ellis Brooklyn is, I don't know if it's because it's a clean fragrance, I believe, right? It's vegan, cruelty free. And I think it's part of clean beauty. Most of the other fragrances I have from them don't stick around very long. This one, now this is not a crazy projecting fragrance. It's not one that you're going to smell across the room, but it does stick around on my skin. It does stick around a little bit longer than the others, like 6 to 8 hours, but it is pretty close to the skin. So I would say, if you're into that sort of, that whole Apres vibe, this is a nice one. So far, the reviews I'm seeing of it, are kind of mixed, but here's what I'm going to say. And here's my little kind of, I don't want to say rant. That sounds negative. Here's my little sidebar. You know how I like to go off onto little tangents, but hear me out on this one. I have to really hand it to Ellis Brooklyn for this one. And I love the packaging too. I love that green. I love my green, green everywhere. I love the packaging on this little sprayer here is very nice. First off, props to Ellis Brooklyn for coming out with a fragrance at the appropriate time of year, because I'm so sick of fragrance houses either jumping the gun and coming out with, like summer fragrances now, or, I was so frustrated at the very, very end of the summer, like late August, early September, when several perfumes came out that were very summery or springy. And, by that point, I was ready for my fall and winter fragrances. So props to Ellis Brooklyn for actually coming out with a fragrance at the appropriate time. So that's number one. Number two, it is really refreshing to have a new fragrance release that's not a fruity floral, fruit chuli, like the same dead horse we've been beating with these fragrance releases over and over and over again. And look, I'm not saying anything negative about fruity florals or fruit chulis and that I don't enjoy them, because I do enjoy them, but it's getting to the point now, and I think some of you feel, let me know in the comments, are you feeling my frustration with this? I think it's just time for us to move on, because when you think about how many fragrances now come out that are truly innovative, they're doing something different. It's really rare. So it's so funny. Speaking of which, I see this article in Fragrantica about like yet another flanker of CK1. It's like CK everyone or something like that. And now, of course, we're at the point where like, oh my God, another one. But back in the 90s when CK1 first came out, say what you will about that fragrance. I'm not, I was sort of meh about it. And now unisex fragrances are certainly not groundbreaking. But I remember like that was something different. That was a notable event in fragrance history when CK1 came out. And I was already pretty into fragrances, but not how I am now. I'm obsessed with fragrances and they pretty much rule my life right now. But fragrances were always on my radar back then. And it was just something that was innovative. It was something new. I feel like now, like not, and then we had a wave of like clean brands coming out, over the past few years. But now even that's kind of like, okay, now everybody's moving toward that. Even Chanel is now moving toward sustainable ingredients. So what are these fragrance houses going to do to get our attention, and same thing with, niche is like oud. I love oud fragrances. And for a while, it was really just niche fragrances that were using a lot of oud. And then, the designer market kind of crept into it. Now even, lower price fragrances are getting into the more Middle Eastern scent profile, because that was innovative at the time. But now again, with that, it's not really anything new. So I have to say with this one, why it's worth getting. I do recommend this fragrance, Ellis Brooklyn Apres, because it's different. And, is this something I'm going to wear all the time? No, I'm probably going to wear it just once in a while in the winter. It's not a scent that I'm going to be craving or anything. But when I want to feel that vibe of snowy, cold, ski lodge, yes, I will wear it. And I'm enjoying it. So I'm giving Apres the Limelight Last 2 thumbs up. If you stuck with me through that little rant, bless you. Bless your little heart. But do you agree? I would really love to know your thoughts on it. I just feel like there are so many fragrances out now that smell similar. They're not doing anything new. This is at least doing something new. Gotta hand it to you, Ellis Brooklyn. You did good with this one. Not everyone's going to like it. Now, here is my other disclaimer. If you are someone, you like flirtier fragrances, you are a woman who is trying to attract a man or smell sexy for a man, look, I know that it's not PC to say like, I want to wear fragrance to like attract someone, or maybe that's not the best reason to wear fragrance. But when you look at the YouTube videos that are like the most popular for like, I guess what people are looking for, those are the videos that get a lot of views. I don't make them really, because that's not really what I'm all about. I kind of like doing my own thing, but how to smell sexy, how to get a man with your perfume, all of that good stuff. See, I'm going on another rant. Wow. Okay. But anyway, my point is, I don't think that this is going to be that. If I wore this around my man, I haven't tried it yet around him, but I don't think he's going to be like, ooh, wow. Probably not. I'll test it out. I'll let you know how that goes. But it's really more for the experience. I think it's really more for the wearer. But yeah, it's different. It's very wintry. It's very Christmas tree, or just tree in general. And I like it. Little sweetness in the dry down. It's good. It's good. So let me know if you have tried Ellis Brooklyn Apres, and let me know also how you feel about, the whole ski lodge thing, because funny story. This is just, if you don't want to hear my story about skiing, I'll say bye right now. But for those of you sticking with me, I've tried skiing one time. It was in the mountains of West Virginia. And I went into it thinking I would be so good at skiing because I'm good at like roller skating, ice skating. So I thought naturally I will be this amazing skier. It's just going to be a breeze. No, it was horrendous. I could not stop. Like to stop, you know how they say like little pizza and French fries or whatever. No, to stop, I had to literally throw my body on the ground. Like I wasn't stopping. I kept running into people. The day of skiing ended with me literally ripping the skis off and walking down the mountain crying. And I'm not a crier, but it just broke me. It was so terrible. And now my son is planning a ski trip with some family members, and he thinks he's going to love it. And I'm like, don't be surprised if you don't love it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on skiing as well. I mean, I would love to be good at skiing. I would love to like wear the cute little outfit and all. It just wasn't for me. So, but I can feel like I've been skiing when I wear this. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sticking with me. And again, let me know if you've tried this fragrance. And also, thank you again for those of you who have subscribed. I really, truly appreciate it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed already, I would love it if you did. So, hope you guys are doing well. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.